appalling to know that only a quarter of the total population in India has access to this, a glass of safe drinking water in their homes. Over 67% of Indian households don't treat their drinking water even though it could be chemically or bacterially contaminated. It's no surprise then that over 75% of children are afflicted by waterborne diseases every year.
Walking endless distances to fetch drinkable water is the harrowing plight of many rural women in India, as nearly 50% of our villages don't have any source of protected drinking water. Families like Devammas are left to rely on groundwater to meet their domestic demand, leaving more than 75% of children and other family members afflicted with waterborne diseases.
నా పేరు దేవమ్మ. మాకు కూడా నీళ్ళ వల్ల పిల్లలకు మాకు జ్వరాలు వస్తున్నాయి. దూరంకి వెళ్ళి తెచ్చుకుంటున్నాము. అక్కడ బోలర్లకి వెళ్ళి తెచ్చుకుంటాము. ఇంకా నీళ్లు తాగలేక పిల్లలకు జ్వరాలు వాంతులు.
Giving access to improved health through clean water drinking is Water Health, that is aiming to provide zero contaminated water in rural India with its 7-stage filtration process.
We create a purification process that takes care of any and every kind of contamination that can exist or has ever existed in the ecosystem. This technology is good enough for any kind of remediation of source water of any kind that you see in India. This is 1000 liters per hour plant, and when we receive water from the bore well, which is the case in this particular plant, it first goes through an activated carbon filter. The activated carbon filter extracts all the odor away from the water, and then it goes to a multimedia filtration. This has multiple layers of filtration process, which includes gravel, sand, and so on and so forth. And water percolates through that, and the suspended impurities are removed at that level. So these two are the first two levels of the stages, stage 1 and stage 2 of water purification. Thereafter, the water passes through these micron filters. So this is a 5 micron filter, and this is a 1 micron filter. So that means anything greater than 5 micron space would not be able to pass through this. Thereafter, it goes through 1 micron filter, which is a finer form of filtration process. Thereafter, the water goes through the RO membranes, and there are these 4 membranes of various flow rates. So what it does is, the water is extracted, and then it goes through a very fine process where 10 raised to power minus 6 kind of the water size is removed through this process under high pressure. And once the water is devoid of any impurities, both microbiological as well as chemical contamination, it is then finally passed through this final stage, which is the ultraviolet waterworks purification process, and it kills any microbiological contamination or pathogens that stay within the water. And thereafter, the water is good for use and drinking consumption.
A process that includes patented ultraviolet disinfection technology invented by Indian-born physicist Ashok Gadgil. Water Health is licensed to distribute this technology that is capable of killing even the minutest particles.
What it does is, it has water flowing into a crucible, and the crucible controls the flow rate of water, and then the water that is flowing through the crucible is exposed to the radiation from the ultraviolet bulb, and based on that radiation, it ensures that all the pathogens are cleaned completely.
With more than 500 decentralized water purification centers in the corridor starting from Gujarat, spreading to Andhra Pradesh, flowing to Karnataka, and finally reaching Tamil Nadu, Water Health provides access to safe drinking water to millions of people with the help of strategic partnerships.
Yes, so other than the over 500 panchayats where we already have our water purification plants running, we recently tied up with the Bangalore municipality for covering all of Bangalore city with one of plants like these. In fact, the first plant already got started about 4 months ago. We now have a mandate to install 200 plants in Bangalore over the next 12 to 18 months. With that, we clearly have an opportunity to provide not only to the to rural areas, but also in the urban pockets like Bangalore city, the possibility of safe water.
every drop of water free of contamination, a mantra that Water Health keenly pursues. But is this the only distinguishing factor for the company that bets big on innovation?
Our quality of water is identical to what you consume from Aquafina or a Kinley. Now that water is obviously priced at 50 or 60 rupees can in any of the urban centers. We price our water at 6 rupees. So that's 1/10 of the price of what it is available anywhere else. This water is highly subsidized.
A vision that aims to reduce waterborne diseases step by step and drop by drop.
నా పేరు సుగ్నమ్మ తుగ్గుగూడమాది మాకు గ్రామ పంచాయతీ వద్ద అందరూ వచ్చి ఇంటింటికి వచ్చి చెప్పారు చెప్తే డాక్టర్ వాటర్ బాగుంటుంది తాగాలి మంచిగా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్తే మేము అవే 2 సంవత్సరాలు తెచ్చి పట్టుకుని తాగుతున్నాం అవి తాగిన సంది మంచిగా ఉంది మా పిల్లలకు మాకు ఆరోగ్యాలు బాగానే ఉన్నాయి ఇక అవి తాగిన సంది అయితే మంచిగా ఉన్నాయి వేరే నీళ్ళు తెచ్చుకుంటే మాకు పురుగులు వచ్చినాయి మాకు ఆరోగ్యాలు మంచిగా ఉన్నాయి.
Fulfilling the goal of reaching the unreached with zero contaminated water, Water Health envisions supplying pure water to every doorstep.
Currently, Water Health provides or purifies about 70 million liters of water every month. And the idea is that every drop of water that is purified in our centers should have zero contamination. And that's the vision that we live for.
Studies show that about 80% of the water available in the country is used for farming and less than 10% by factories. Even so, there are several industries that thrive heavily on water. One such industry is the textile sector, an industry that is growing at a speeding rate. The manufacturers must eliminate the use of caustic soda in textile pre-treatment salt and dye wastage. Too intricate to understand? Richa Industries Limited, one of the trustees named in Indian textile industry, is using the enzymatic solutions provided by DuPont Industrial Biosciences to reduce water wastage. Let's see how.
A world of textures, a riot of colors, and spools of yarn and fabric. The Indian textile industry boasts of being one of the world's largest. But apart from this feat, it's also one of the biggest guzzlers of a very scarce resource, water. Harsh chemicals used in the pre-treatment of the cloth and in the dyeing of the fabric makes multiple use of water baths a necessity.
कपड़ा निटेड फैब्रिक जो है उसको जब हम निटिंग करके नीचे लेके आते हैं तो इसको पहले प्रिक्योर करना होता है, कपड़े को बॉइलिंग करनी होती है इसकी, और इसमें हम केमिकल यूज करते हैं, कास्टिक सोडा वगैरह इस टाइप के, साल्ट, हाइड्रोजन ऑक्साइड जो केमिकल है उससे इसको बॉइल्ड करके रेडी फॉर डाइंग करते हैं.
In the heart of Faridabad is this textile mill owned by Subhash Gupta, which is anything but run-of-the-mill. This is where a quiet war is being waged in saving precious water that is needed for a textile processing plant.
Typically, 1 kg of fabric needs 100 liters of water to be processed. So in an average unit which processes 3,000 to 4,000 kgs of fabric per day. So that means we are talking about 3 lakh liters of water per day.
DuPont Industrial Biosciences has collaborated with Richa Industries Limited, and this is where the revolution begins. The textile mill is using DuPont's bio-friendly and fabric-friendly enzyme Prima Green EcoScar. In its pre-treatment process, which cuts down the water bath cycles from 4 to 2, thereby reducing water consumption considerably.
DuPont's enzymes are used in a processing unit like Richa, whereas we are helping them to reduce the total water usage. What we are doing is we are helping them to reduce the use of corrosive chemicals. So the lesser chemicals, lesser water. So the number of baths that they use today are going down and down by using enzymes, and therefore their water discharge is reduced.
The impact: post-EcoScar adoption, Richa Industries Limited has reduced water consumption by 20% in the pre-treatment process. Besides this, there are also savings of energy, time and other natural resources.
The actual dyeing process takes in this machine. After implementing DuPont's enzyme, we are able to reduce the water consumption level. Earlier, we are using approximately 75 liters of water per kg of fabric, but after using this DuPont enzyme, we are now achieve approximately 60 liters of water per kg of fabric.
The water savings can be higher at different plants depending on process conditions. Water savings of at least 20% in just pre-treatment could mean huge savings for hundreds of mills across India. A big blessing for a water-intensive industry and a significant contribution to a water-starved country like India. Not just that, in any textile unit, the water that is discharged is beset with dyes and chemicals. Proper treatment to make this water free from chemicals is critical so that it can be reused and recycled.
पानी ऊपर जो 3 टंकी देख रहे हैं हम, उनमें केमिकल भरे हुए हैं, जैसे कि फेरस, लाइम, पॉलीलैक्टो, 3 केमिकल हैं। जब वो वाटर से टच होते हैं तो अपना रिएक्शन करते हैं, पानी को फाड़ते हैं। पानी फाड़ने से पानी साफ हो जाता है, हैवी मेटल नीचे बैठ जाते हैं और वो पानी फ्लो होता हुआ इस टैंक में आ जाता है। पानी साफ होके एयरेशन टैंक बने हुए हैं उधर, उनमें चला जाता है। वहाँ उसमें हम एयर मिक्स करते हैं। उस एयर मिक्स होने के बाद पानी को यहाँ लेके आते हैं। ये पानी बिल्कुल साफ है इस टाइम। इस पानी को फिर हम रीयूज के लिए अपने टैंकों में ले जाते हैं और वो डाइंग में दोबारा रीयूज करते हैं। लगभग 300 KL पर डे में से 150 KL लगभग हम रीयूज कर लेते हैं पर डे।
The quest is to reduce, reuse and recycle water in a notoriously water-hungry industry.
Overall, to me, this is our effort to go towards the power of Shunya. That means the wastage of water or water wastage going towards zero, and that's our commitment to the sustainability.
Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, 3 out of our 4 metros are located on the coast. The country has a very long coastline and 25% of the population lives in the coastal zone. The coastal zone is also most industrialized area in the country. This demands more water, which has put the coastal aquifers under stress. After the break, we visit companies that are addressing the water woes of our coastal communities.
Whatever be the way, take it with a smile. This is life with you by my side.
Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
मैडम, आप फिक्र ना करें। कभी राहों पर मुश्किल लम्हे मिलते हैं, कहीं दिल में डर के साए पलते हैं, कुछ चेहरे जाने अनजाने मिलते हैं, बस साथ 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 चलते।
चोला MS हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, जरूरत में हर पल आपके साथ।
New Engage Irresistible Deo Sprays for him and her.